Well, hello there, and thank you for joining me for another broadcast of God's podcast. I am your host, God is Gracious. My subject today is Do Everything in Love. This comes from 1 Corinthians 16:14, which reads, Do everything in love. Our thoughts, feelings, actions, and inactions should be done with godly love toward God and toward others. The Corinthian church received instruction from Paul on how to conduct themselves. They engaged in improper behavior in a number of ways, one of which was acting only for their own benefit rather than for the benefit of the whole congregation. They actually met in houses then, so it wasn't like they're meeting in a church. So uh, when the church began in Acts there, the churches was all home churches, and they went from one home to the other. And some people were rich and some was poor. So this is what he's talking about here, where some was only acting in their own benefit rather than sharing with everybody equally. Paul had just summarized the qualities of a Christian using the analogy of a soldier in the verse before this one. He advised he advised Christians to be aware of potential threats, to hold fast to their beliefs, and to behave maturely, and to possess a strong will in order to maintain their devotion to the faith. He stated that everything should be done with the grace of godly love as their motivation in order to ensure that when Christians responded in these ways, they were not inflexible or unforgiving. Paul spoke of acts in the verse before, but in this one, he emphasized influencing the Corinthians' hearts. Without a change in their hearts, their actions would eventually return to being sinful. However, more critically, without love, their deeds would not be in accordance with what the Lord has commanded us. According to Paul, love, faith, and hope. Excuse me now. According to Paul, love is the greatest virtue and the greatest of all graces, surpassing both faith and hope. According to Peter the Apostle, we should have a profound affection for one another. Anyone who does not have love does not know God, according to the Apostle John. So again, love is the greatest virtue and the greatest of all graces. It surpasses both faith and hope. If we do not have love, it's because we don't know God. God is love. Anyone who does not love does not know God. So let's take a quick look at the two key parts of this verse. Do everything in love. Number one, do everything. Everything we do should be done in love, including our thoughts, emotions, deeds, and inactions. This holds true for how we should treat both Christians and non-Christians, as well as our allies, our foes, and the homeless. Do everything, number two, in love. According to the King James Version, love is actually charity. In Paul's discussion, the significance of the charity or God, the significance of this charity or godly love, the words with patience, kindness, without without envy, without boasting, without pride, without dishonoring others, without being self-seeking, without being easily angered, without keeping records of wrongs, without delighting in evil, always protecting, always trusting, always hoping, always persevering, and never failing should be read as a group to get the full picture of the qualities necessary to demonstrate the grace of godly love. Glory to God. So again, I want to thank you so much for taking the time to join me for this brief broadcast of God's podcast. As you know, I'm your host, God is Gracious. We just took a quick look at 1 Corinthians 16:14. Do everything in love. And until next time, you, your family, and friends be blessed. And please have a wonderful rest of your day and enjoy your weekend. Bye-bye now. Have a great day.